Hello guys, welcome back to LR Anime. Guys, please like the video and subscribe to my channel. Today is explanation of BTTH The Flame Emperor episode number 80 based on novel. So let's start. In the rather imposing conference room, following Qin Tian's departure, the others also left one after another. King Shenling also walked to Yi Mo's side and said to the two of them, "The end of the auction will begin. The snake hunt plan, I hope the two of you can let go of your past grievances and work together." After King Shenling finished speaking, he also left here. Top secret plan. Yi Mo also shook his head, very surprised why Lord Qin Tian, who had always had a bad impression of King Shenling, agreed with King Shenling at this time. Shaking his head, he didn't think too much and left slowly. Xiao Yang and the others were also resting and recuperating in the inn in Shenling City, waiting for the auction in 10 days. The Dodi continent is a high-ranking continent. Due to its vast territory and many people, it is also divided into 4 continents. The northern part of Dodi continent is the Tianqing continent. The southern part of Dodi continent is Haohai continent. The western part of Dodi continent is the Shenling continent. To the east of Dodi continent is Doyun continent. Doyun continent is a continent rich in land and emperor energy. There are many talents here, and among them, the 8 ancient clans also stand on this continent. Legend has it that the 8 ancient clans were all promoted from a lower plane called Dochi continent to the upper plane of Dodi continent. At the beginning, there were only a few people in each race. With the talents of a few people, they gradually became here. Only when Doyun continent gained a firm foothold, there are the 8 ancient clans today, and it is unknown whether it is true or false. The 8 ancient clans were Xiao, Jiyu, Sol, Yang, Yaro, Shu, Ling, and Lei. It's just that they are the 8 ancient races. In fact, there are only 7 races in the core area of Doyun continent. The Xiao Clan also didn't stand on this Doyun continent, and I don't know why. Doyun continent, within the ancient clan. The ancients occupied an extremely huge mountain, and the mountain was subdivided into 7 peaks, each with different branches. 7 mountain peaks, which means that this ancient clan is now divided into 7 factions. So many factions, I am afraid it is quite rare. There are 7 mountain peaks, each of which is called the Immortal Creation Peak by the outside world. Ordinary people only know that living on this mountain peak will be enough to set foot in the Battle of Immortals in the future, but they don't know that 7 of the ancient tribes are made of immortals. Xianfeng, each of which is dominated by Do Xian powerhouses, which also created the prestige of the ancients. After all, on this Doyun continent, Do Xian powerhouses are not a big one. A fighting immortal powerhouse can be regarded as a heavyweight, not to mention that this ancient clan has 7 or more on the bright side. At this time, on one of the 7 mountain peaks, a figure also dressed in simple clothes, slowly walked out of the courtyard. Even in plain clothes, it can't hide the woman's slender figure. The slender eyelashes were slightly closed, and the 3,000 silks behind her were falling in the wind, making her look quite elegant. But at this moment, a golden flame was beating slightly in the beautiful eyes of the woman. This person is not the Zana that Xiao Yang has been thinking about day and night. Who else would it be? It's strange to say that since Zana and Jiyu Yuan came to this ancient clan, the 7 peaks were only managed by one person, but as time passed, the person who managed the ancient clan mysteriously disappeared, and among the 7 peaks. The 7 fighting immortals had to come out to preside over the overall situation. It is strange to say that the patriarchs and some elders in the ancient clan seem to have disappeared. Only a very few people know that they are looking for some mysterious things. So at this time, the management of the ancient clan was still the 7 fighting immortals above the 7 peaks. At this time, there was an old man outside the courtyard. The old man was dressed in white, but the hair was black and white. At this time, the old man squinted, and there was not even a trace of fighting spirit fluctuations all over his body. The old man lay flat on the green grass outside the courtyard, his pupils closed slightly, and he let the wind blow on him. Zana also walked gently to the old man's side, and then Bei's lips moved slightly. "Teacher, did you succeed?" The old man didn't change at all, and then murmured, "Well, it worked." Zana's sweet voice echoed on the grass. "You really are talented. In just a few months of retreat, you have completely controlled the entire power of the Golden Emperor Fen Tianyang. You should also break through the 5-star Do Emperor now." The next moment, the old man also opened his eyes and said slowly, "Reporting to the teacher, Zana has indeed broken through the 5-star fighting emperor, and now it is the middle stage of the 5-star fighting emperor." Zana also said respectfully, but the pupils with golden flames seemed to have some different thoughts. The Golden Emperor Fen Tianyang on the Doqi continent is the heritage of their ancient clan, but Zana also discovered that after coming to the ancient clan's base camp in the Doyun continent, he was surprised to find that the Golden Emperor Fen Tian in his body, the power of flame, even if it was implanted into one's body for inheritance since childhood, was not completely absorbed, as if something important was missing, but fortunately, my teacher also perfectly absorbed the power of this strange fire. At the end, with some magical medicines, the strength is also skyrocketing. Your strange fire itself contains a huge amount of power, but it restricts its potential in your Doqi continent, so it's too little help for you. The old man also said. When Zana heard the words, she also nodded. Okay, since you have broken through to the 5-star Do Emperor, you also have the opportunity to compete with the other 6 factions. After all, you, the Golden Emperor, Fen Tianyang, is related to the existence of the most precious treasure in our ancient clan. The other 6 factions are trying their best to take this flame from you. The old man also spoke slowly. But, teacher, Zana also slowed down when she heard the words. What's wrong? The old man also saw at a glance that Zana seemed to have something unspeakable in his heart, so he asked. Teacher, do you still remember that you said that as long as I break through the 5-star Do D you will give me a small vacation? The next moment, Zana looked at the old man with anticipation. Oh, you little girl. The old man also laughed helplessly. It's okay to let it go, but Zana, you must know that the Golden Emperor Fen Tianyang in your body is related to a holy flame inherited from our ancient clan, so if you are in the clan, with me, the other 6 even a faction dare not do it. But once you leave here, then outside is. And your current strength is too weak, I'm not at ease. After the old man finished speaking, he didn't say anything further, but the implication became more and more obvious. Zana knows the teacher's good intentions, but Zana's husband is still outside. How can Zana cultivate with peace of mind? Zana also said slowly, but there was a rather stubborn taste in the beautiful eyes of the golden flame. It was noticed by the old man in front of him. That kid. It's from the Xiao Clan. Teacher. The next moment, Zana's golden pupils suddenly became shocked. Although I don't know why, since Zana came to this strange continent, she also understood a truth from the words of some people around her. That's right here, as if everything related to the Xiao family is taboo. Don't be nervous, there is no one else here except you and me. The old man also noticed Zana's shock, so he said. Does it feel strange? This Doyun continent is clearly the 8 ancient clans, why are there only 7 clans now? The old man also said slowly. Yes, teacher, Zana still has a lot of questions. Zana was also overjoyed, apparently her teacher actually knew the secret. Zana is worried about how to understand these things. Little girl, listen carefully, these things can only be said once. The old man also suddenly became serious. Then the next moment, a terrifying aura also emanated from the old man, and then a separate space was slowly formed near the two of them. Seeing this, Zana also felt a chill from her heart. The next moment, as Zana felt the terrifying fluctuations in the old man's body, she couldn't help but kneel down. Immediately, golden flames appeared all over her body, and she barely maintained it. Body. Is this the power of a fighting fairy? Zana also murmured in her heart. According to legend, the Dodi continent is divided into 4 continents, Dongduyun, Zixuanling, Nanhaohai, and Beishanxing. Our ancient 8 clans are located on the Doyun continent, and the ancient 8 clans can be regarded as the mainstay of this Doyun continent. As for the origin of the 8 ancient clans, I believe you know something. The original founders of the ancient 8 clans broke through the Do Emperor from your Doqi continent, broke through the shackles of the plane, and entered our Doyun continent, where they showed the powerful strength of their 8 clans and founded the ancient 8 clans. The strength of the ancient 8 clans, even in this Doyun continent, has a strength ranking. Among the 8 clans, the third is our ancient clan, and the second is the Soul Clan. As for the number 1, it's the Xiao Clan. The old man said with a lot of nostalgia. The Xiao family is actually number 1? Zana was also slightly surprised, and Bei's lips moved slightly. Yes, the Xiao Clan is the number 1 existence among the 8 clans. Because there have been peak powerhouses at the level of fighting gods in the Xiao Clan. The old man also said with great respect. Battle god. The next moment, Zana was also surprised and couldn't calm down for a long time. On the Dodi continent, no matter which continent it is, a strong Dozian can be treated like a guest. As for the words of the fighting god, I am afraid that the entire Dodi continent does not have it either. After all, this god of war is the pinnacle of existence. Don't think about it, as far as I know, There is currently no Do god on Dodi continent. Maybe it's only in the center of the 7 realms. The old man also muttered. The 7 realms center. Zana also murmured. Among the 7 realms, each realm has a huge lower plane, and only when the strength reaches a certain level can it be possible to enter a higher plane. The center of the 7 realms is the place where the peak powerhouses of each of the 7 realms gather. World Center. This is the place where many peak powerhouses are gathered. Okay, let's get down to business, those things are too far away. The old man also smiled slowly and said, there is a reason why the Xiao Clan keeps people silent on our Dodi continent. Because there were strong warriors at the level of fighting gods in the Xiao Clan, they are also qualified to enter the center of the human world. Although I don't know what happened, the Xiao Clan at the time was hunted down by the 7 realms, so they could not escape the fall and annihilate the clan. However, there are some powerful Xiao people who survived, but they can't escape the pursuit of the human world. No one knows where they are now, and where they are. However, once it is discovered by the law enforcement team of any one of the 7 world centers, it must be inevitable. Because the minimum requirement to enter the 7 realms center is the god of battle. The old man also said, how is that possible? As the old man in front of him finished speaking, a fear appeared on Zana's handsome face. Because my teacher also said that, although I don't know what the ancestors of the Xiao Clan did in the 7 realms center, since they can be hunted down by the 7 realms center, the seriousness of the matter can be imagined. Brother Xiao Yang, you can't be in trouble. Zana also said with great worry. But don't worry, although your little lover is a member of the Xiao family, the people in the center of the human world have no time to care about him. After all, among the 7 worlds, each world is fighting openly and secretly. The old man also smiled. Teacher, is the Xiao family really shut up and can't mention it on this Doyun continent? Zana also said slightly. Yes, because our Dodi continent belongs to the upper plane, which is the most advanced plane. Above Dodi continent, it is the center of the human world. So our Dodi continent is actually supervised by the peak powerhouses at the center of humanity, so this Xiao family must not be mentioned, otherwise. The old man also said quite seriously, I can't believe that the Xiao family where brother Xiao Yang lives has such a secret. Zana also shook her head slightly, and then her beautiful eyes turned her head slightly, staring at a space in the distance and muttering, you little girl. Seeing this, the old man smiled helplessly. Obviously, the old man was also quite depressed. Even the boy of the Xiao clan, how could he deceive Zana, who was like a fairy descended from the earth? If I have a chance, I really want to meet this kid, and he actually abducted the heart of my close disciple. The old man also pretended to be in a deep voice. Teacher, don't make fun of me. Zana also hurriedly stopped the old man's ridicule. But teacher, Zana may have to go, I'm going to find brother Xiao Yang. The next moment, the moment Zana spoke, she also showed a smile that was enough to make everything pale. You. Although I have only been with you for a few months, I also fell in love with you, this little guy. Your own talent is also extremely outstanding, but the stubbornness that goes deep into your bones. But remember, no matter where you go, you are my peerless heavenly emperor's disciple. The old man also said slowly, Xiaoqing, come out, you are responsible for protecting her. If something happens to her, you don't have to come back. The next moment, the old man said slowly. After the old man finished speaking, the surrounding space also trembled strangely, and then a Saiyan woman suddenly appeared in front of him. Yes, master. The woman called Jiyu Qing also said respectfully. Thank you, master. Zana also smiled extremely happily. In terms of strength alone, this Jiyu Qing in front of him is probably a powerhouse comparable to the 9-star Dodi, but what makes Zana even happier is that at last, he can go to find brother Xiao Yang. Brother Xiao Yang, no matter where you are, wait for Zana. Lord Tiendi, Zana, something is bad. There is someone from the church, and it is specified that you want to see Zana. The next moment, on the grass, there was a voice that Zana was quite familiar with. As the previous voice fell, a figure slowly appeared. This person is Zana's father, Jiyu Yuan. After all, the place where Zana lives, apart from his teacher and the peerless emperor who can enter and exit at will, I am afraid that his father can also enter. Due to the existence of the Golden Emperor Fen Tianyang on Zana's body, the Golden Emperor's Fen Tianyang is related to the existence of the supreme treasure in the jade, so Zana was accepted as a closed disciple by the peerless Emperor Tiendi, one of the 7 fighting immortals who now presides over the overall situation of the ancient clan, so the identity of Jiyu Yuan is also rising among the ancients. Jiyu Yuan, is what you said true? The next moment, Peerless Tiandi's expression also became unpleasant, and then he slowly faced Jiu Yuan on the side. It's absolutely true. Jiu Yuan also responded. After Jiu Yuan finished speaking, he also looked at Zana aside. As a father, who doesn't want to see their daughter live happily every day? Now, seeing the smile on Zana Erbe's lips, Jiu Yuan felt something loosened in his heart. It's troublesome now. The next moment, the complexion of the peerless Heavenly Emperor's old man also became a bit ugly. Teacher, what's going on? Zun also asked in surprise. Because with Zana's eyesight, it is naturally not difficult to find that since his father came to the church, his teacher, a generation of immortal warriors, and peerless Heavenly Emperor's complexion has also become ugly. Miss Zana, you don't know anything about this. Above our Doyun continent, in addition to the strength of our ancient 8 clans, there are many sects that are also extremely powerful, and this church is one of the most powerful forces. Jiu Qing also said coldly to Zana. Church? What kind of power is that? Zana also frowned slightly. After all, she was always on top of the immortal creation peak, and she was blocked from the outside world. The church. As we all know, even if we are in the Dodi continent, not everyone is a Dodi. There are many Do Shungs or even people with lower strength, or ordinary people who have not cultivated. Birth, old age, sickness and death have become the most troublesome things for these people. Over time, in order to seek the protection of angels, the people of Doyun continent built an extremely magnificent palace on the highest point of Doyun continent. And the angel family, who control the life and death of human beings and master the resurrection magic, are moved by the piety of human beings. At the headquarters of the church built by humans, the highest point of Doyun continent, a channel to the kingdom of angels has been established. Angel's eyes. Peerless heaven and earth also slowly opened his mouth. And this church is the power of angels in our human world. In other words, behind this church, there is a family of angels. Jiu Qing also explained. Angel. The next moment, Zana's golden pupils also had some waves. Because even Zana, who has always been calm as water, is rarely so surprised. But Zana knew that the true charm of the angel who mastered the resurrection magic was undoubtedly more enviable than that of the alchemist. It's futile to use a good medicinal elixir if you die. Hey, Zana, let's go and see what they mean. The next moment, Peerless Heavenly Emperor also said slowly to Zana. I hope it's not for me. Zana also said to herself. The next moment, Peerless Heaven and Earth and Jiu Qing also walked slowly. Zana also glanced at her father, and then said, Father, I'm going out to find brother Xiao Yang. I told the teacher, you can feel at ease in the family. After Zana finished speaking, her pupils also got a little moist, and then I said to follow. The 3 slowly disappeared on the grass. Hey, Xiao Yang, I hope you're all right. After Jiu Yuan finished speaking, he shook his head helplessly, and then slowly disappeared. The 7 immortal-making peaks slowly formed a circle, and the center of the circle was the meeting place of the 7 factions of the ancient clan. Whenever there is a major event or to welcome some well-heeled people, it will be done here. There are countless buildings in Langya full of eyes, the birds sing and the flowers are fragrant, the stream flows slowly, and it is alive like a fairyland on earth. Hehe, I don't know why the church came here this time. In a rather quiet wooden house, the 6 old men also slowly sat on the top of the table. You don't need to think about it, you know that these 6 should be impressive. It is the other 6 immortal-making peaks who are fighting immortals, and then opposite the 6 old men, there is a rather handsome young man and a simple old man in red. Hehe, seniors, this time, the reason for coming here is to bring the relationship between my church and the ancients closer. After all, we are both in Doyun continent, so there are many helpers. The handsome man also slowed down. He smiled slowly, but the pupils kept staring at the door, obviously waiting for something. It's easy to talk about. The 6 old men became excited when they heard it. To be able to cooperate or become a partner with this church is an incredible thing. After all, the church is the power of the angel family in humans, and it is not an exaggeration to say that they have mastered the resurrection magic. As for the terrifying ability that can bring people back to life, who would not want to curry favor with it? After all, at their age, it's hard to be exhausted in strength, and because they are old, they are not allowed to fail to break through that day, and to deal with this church well, not to mention resurrection, even rejuvenation. Possible. I don't know why the peerless Heavenly Emperor Senior hasn't come yet. The handsome man also slowly stared outside and said, Ha ha ha, who am I? It turns out to be your old fellow Mika. A rather hearty laughter also came from outside. You old fellow. The red-clothed archbishop known as Micah also smiled slowly at the peerless emperor. Then the next moment, peerless heavenly emperor also walked in slowly. Following him, there are two women. One is Jiu Qing, who exudes an icy aura all over his body, a feeling that strangers should not be approached. And the other one is Zana. The slender skirt is matched with 3,000 silks, which sets off the whole body very well. The beautiful eyes with golden flames also turn slightly. The slender eyelashes, every frown and smile undoubtedly show her elegance and beauty. Zana has seen 6 seniors. After Zana finished speaking, she placed her jade hand slightly in front of her lower abdomen, and then slightly tapped her toes on the ground, and bowed slightly to the 6 old men. Haha, Miss Zana is still so polite. The 6 old men also said with admiration. Senior is wrong. After Zana finished speaking, she also slowly walked to the front and sat down, but her eyes were not on the 2 people in the church in front of her. Such a beauty, I'm afraid she is also an angel sent from heaven. The next moment, since Zana appeared, the handsome man's eyes also became hot, and he never left. Tell me, what's the matter? The next moment, with the arrival of the peerless heavenly emperor, at this time, among the ancient clan, 7 fighting immortals also gathered together, and in front of them, it seems that it is only a powerful mediocre man and a red-clothed archbishop who is also at the level of fighting immortal. Senior, this junior is the child of light in the current church, and the ancient clan is here for one thing. A rather handsome man, dressed in black, with a dry face that brought out a rather soft aura. What? This person is actually the son of light. The next moment, as the young man's words fell, in addition to the peerless heavenly emperor, the Does Yan of the 6 ancient clans next to him also showed an incredible look. Child of light. They can't be clear about what this means. Light is the origin of all things, the child of the birth of all things. Child of light not only means that this man is a light-type grudge, but also shows a bigger problem. The one chosen by the angels. Child of light. It can be said without hesitation that as long as you grow up, you will definitely be a peak powerhouse in the future. Moreover, the only effect of light attribute vindictiveness is healing, but dealing with people in the ghost world and the devil world is extremely terrifying. However, this does not restrict their future potential in any way. After all, a person who is capable of mastering the divine art of resurrection is undoubtedly a more willing follower than a pharmacist. Son of light. Zana also found the shock of the other 6 powerhouses of the ancient clan, but Zana was not too surprised, because at this time, in Zana's mind, there was already a heavy ruler on his back. Filled by men. Children of light. I haven't seen each other for many years. I remember that after the Son of Light in your church appeared 1,000 years ago, he also reached the pinnacle of Does Yan, and he was only 1 step away from Do Shun. Having mastered the technique of resurrection, he can be considered a true overlord on our Doyun continent. Peerless Heavenly Emperor also spoke slowly. That person is my uncle. The next moment, the young man also said slowly. Because he also knew that among the 7 ancient clan fighting immortals, only this peerless Heavenly Emperor was the strongest, and he had to lower his posture immediately. After all, he also came with a request. As long as the goal can be achieved, it is harmless to humiliate a little now. Haha, I don't know why the church came here this time. The next moment, peerless Heavenly Emperor also slowly narrowed his eyes. Obviously, the identity of this child of light and Micah, one of the 3 red-clothed archbishops, are enough to show that this kid is highly valued by the church. Because even if it is a peerless emperor, the son of light in the face of this church has to lower his stance. After all, this child of light status in the church is only second to the Pope and the 3 red-clothed archbishop. Hehe, let me tell you. The next moment, the red-clothed archbishop next to the child of light also stood up, and then smiled slowly. I've heard for a long time that Miss Zana of the ancient clan has descended into the world because of her beauty. When I saw her today, she really lived up to her reputation. The red-clothed Archbishop Mika also praised Zana, who was sitting beside him. Senior is wrong. The next moment, Zana also stood up and bowed back to Micah. However, Zana was extremely puzzled in her heart. She didn't know why the 2 from this church came here this time, and why they took the initiative to find her now. A bad idea was born in her heart. Peerless Heavenly Emperor, you have a good disciple. But the purpose of our trip is for Miss Zana. The next moment, Mika also said suddenly. What? The next moment, the peerless Heavenly Emperor's expression also became extremely displeased. The details of this Zana are known only to a very small number of people from their ancient clan, so to the outside world, they just say that this is the genius of the new generation of their ancient clan, and it did not appear in the eyes of others because of the closed-door seclusion. Senior, the first thing this boy saw when he saw Miss Zana was that he fell in love with her. The feeling of falling in love at first sight is wonderful, and I hope that the adults will be successful. The next moment, the Child of Light also clenched his fists with both hands, and then said to the peerless Heavenly Emperor beside him, "This." The next moment, the 6 surrounding powerhouses were also stunned, and they were obviously shocked by the sudden appearance of the Son of Light. "I'm sorry, Your Excellency Son of Light, Zana already has a family." Zana on the side was shocked when he heard the words of the Son of Light, and stood up slightly, then said with a smile, "What? How is that possible?" The next moment, the Child of Light was also suddenly surprised. This Zana actually already has a family. How can it be? How could such a beautiful person like an angel be sullied by others? No, such a beautiful person only needs him, the Son of Light, to get it. Whoever it is, kill it. Miss Zana, it doesn't matter if you have a family. I think only I can be worthy of you. After the Son of Light finished, the light attribute aura instantly filled his body, and then an extremely arrogant aura was also filled with light. In the pupil of the sun. But when she thought that the fairy woman in front of her was actually taken first by others, she felt a little angry in her heart. At the moment when the white Do Chi light appeared on the Son of Light, the 7 Do immortal powerhouses in the hall all felt that there was an extremely pure power flowing slowly in their bodies. Even the little remaining vitality was enhanced by this pure white light. This is the horror of the Child of Light. Not to mention that the current Child of Light has such a terrifying ability even if he has not accepted the inheritance. If he accepts the inheritance in the future, then I am afraid it will be enough to master the resurrection magic. Child of Light, pay attention to my image. The next moment, Mika, who was next to him, also noticed that the Child of Light was full of words, and immediately spoke out, "Humph." The next moment, Zana also snorted coldly with the offense of the Son of Light, and then the strength of the middle stage of the 5-star Do Emperor also emerged in an instant. The strength of the 5-star Do D in the middle stage is not enough to form a shock in the eyes of the 8 Do Xian level powerhouses, but with the appearance of this Do Chi, Zana's slender eyelashes moved slightly, and then the power of a golden flame also spread out instantly. Just as the golden flame appeared, it directly burned the pure white grudge on the Son of Light. Damn it! What is this thing that can actually burn my grudge? The next moment, the Child of Light was also suddenly surprised. Because he was surprised to find that this terrifying golden flame burned his vindictiveness, and it was not so easy to extinguish. Shabu Shabu. Mika, who was beside him, also noticed the abnormality of the Son of Light, and immediately waved his hand, and an invisible force extinguished the golden flame. This is. The next moment, Mika also seemed to be surprised by Zana's golden flame, and she thought about something in a deep voice. Boom boom boom. With the appearance of golden flames, several people in the entire hall also exclaimed, "This is a complete golden Emperor Fen Tianyang." The next moment, the other 6 immortal fighters were suddenly surprised. No wonder they were so surprised. Because there is an extremely terrifying holy flame within the ancient clan. This holy flame is extremely special. It must be absorbed by the golden Emperor Fen Tianyang as its predecessor. Otherwise, with the power of that holy flame, even a strong immortal warrior can fall directly. Hey, our 7 factions have been fighting for so long, I can't think of it. The next moment, I carefully felt the golden flame with terrifying power on Zana's body, and the other 6 fighting immortals also said slowly, "What is this?" The next moment, the pure white Do Chi in the Son of Light's body was also forced back by Zana's golden Do Chi, and disappeared without a trace. The next moment, numerous golden flames appeared in the entire hall. The golden flame, along with the existence of Do Chi, slowly radiated from Zana's body. This flame can actually burn Do Chi? Could it be? Micah was also extremely surprised. Laro am I, what is that? The Son of Light also has a powerless way, because just now he also felt a faint murderous aura from this golden flame. If it wasn't for Micah's attack, I'm afraid this Child of Light would also have some scars. If I expected it to be good, it should be related to a secret existence in this ancient clan, so the identity of this woman, I am afraid, is also a very high existence in the ancient clan. Mika also said. Their patriarch and a kind of tyrannical elder are not here, this is the best chance. That woman named Zana, I must get it. In the next moment, a pure white light came to Micah in the light, and then slowly communicated with Micah. Damn boy. I really don't know why this kind of heart will get the identity of the Child of Light. If it wasn't for the Pope's order, you kid would have already. Mika also snorted coldly in her heart and said, Miss Zana, what are you doing? This will hurt the harmony between our church and your ancient clan. Mika also laughed. Because it was just the golden flame on Zana's body, but it was faintly burning the grudge in his body. He is a dignified red-clothed archbishop, a dignified fighting immortal powerhouse, to be treated like this by a middle-stage 5-star fighting emperor, which is enough to show that this woman's body is not simple. I said, Zana already has a family. Please come back. Zana also snorted coldly, and then with some displeasure in her heart, she said to the child of light and the red-clothed archbishop, What? How dare you drive me away? Do you know who I am? I am the child of light of the church, and in one sentence, it is an existence that can destroy your ancient clan. The next moment, the child of light also suddenly became angry, and then an extremely terrifying aura also emanated. Enough. At the next moment, Mika also suddenly grabbed the Son of Light and asked him to put away that power. Humph. When the 7 elders around saw this, the Son of Light was indeed too presumptuous, and immediately snorted coldly, and the terrifying pressure of the fighting immortal powerhouses went straight to the Son of Light. The Son of Light also seemed to find that he had gone too far. When the terrifying coercion of the 7 fighting immortals descended, they fell down with a thud. You have to figure it out. This is my ancient clan, not your church. Peerless Heavenly Emperor also snorted coldly. Miss Zana, I don't know who your husband is, but I believe I will be stronger than him. Please believe me. The Son of Light also noticed that he had made several gaffes, and immediately returned to the gentleman's bearing, and then said to Zana, In my eyes, he is the most powerful person. Anne, don't say that you are the Son of Light, even the Pope can't compare to him. Zana also stared at the Son of Light with her beautiful eyes, her slender eyelashes turned slightly, and then her lips moved slightly. Who is he? Why is he better than me? The Son of Light and Zana looked at each other, and also found that this person's appearance was enough to make everything pale, and immediately became more certain of the idea of getting this woman. He is better than you everywhere, and now you are delaying my time to see him, but I will kill you. Zana also said slightly, and then the terrifying murderous aura spread all over her body instantly. Not good. This woman actually has such a terrifying murderous aura. The next moment, Mika also suddenly came to the side of the Child of Light and protected the Child of Light. You'd better go back and be the flowers in your greenhouse. After Zana finished speaking, she didn't care about the Son of Light at all, but slowly walked to the top of the hall, where the 7 ancient races were fighting immortals. You'll regret it. The next moment, the Son of Light suddenly said a word to Zana, and then directly broke through the door. Laro am I, let's go. Your ancient clan will definitely regret it. After speaking, he left the hall abruptly. Let's go, it's just the church, maybe our ancients will be afraid of them. Watching the two leave, several immortal warriors also said, Teacher. Zana also found out that the two were there, and then gently came to the peerless Heavenly Emperor and said softly, Don't worry, I will settle this matter. Peerless Heavenly Emperor also said, Thank you, Master. Since there is nothing to do, then Zana will leave first, and Zana's father will trouble the teacher to take care of him. Zana also said slightly, Oh, why are you so impatient, little girl? Peerless Heavenly Emperor also said helplessly, Well, this is for you. If you encounter a power that neither you nor Jiu Qing can resist, you will open it. The next moment, a silver bag appeared in the hands of the Peerless Heavenly Emperor. Zana was also not polite at all. She stretched out her jade hand and took the kit from the teacher in front of her, and then slowly exited towards the hall. Teacher, farewell. Zana also said calmly. After speaking, he also disappeared from the eyes of the 7 fighting immortals. Who else? Jiu Qing, followed Zana. Zana, it's really a good name. The Peerless Heavenly Emperor also felt the disappearing Zana, and immediately said. But at this moment, in the mind of the Peerless Heavenly Emperor, a memory was recalled. Heavenly Emperor, don't cry, the next moment someone with Jindi's Fen Tianyang appears, is when we are about to meet. Those were the last words a stunning woman said to the Peerless Heavenly Emperor before she left. It's been so many years, and there's no news from you. Now that Emperor Jin Fen Tianyang is appearing, I don't know if you, the previous master of Emperor Jin Fen Tianyang, are okay. Don't worry, she is very similar to you. I will definitely make up for the wrong things I did in the past. Peerless Heavenly Emperor also slowly said in his heart. The 6 people on the side, they didn't know what this Peerless Heavenly Emperor was doing at this time, but what surprised them even more was that this person named Zana. This person is clearly the blood of their ancient family flowing. It is said that the ancients have always had an unwritten rule. As soon as the Golden Emperor Fen Tianyang came out, the Holy Maiden is coming. The next moment, peerless Heavenly Emperor also closed his eyes slightly, and then said slowly, "Pass my order, starting today, Zana will become the saint of my ancient clan, and her status is second only to the patriarch. In addition, send out the elites in the clan to find the clan chief and them." Peerless Heavenly Emperor also said slowly, "After fighting for so many years, it's time to unite well." Several immortal warriors around him also agreed. After speaking, the 7 of them also slowly left here. Somewhere in Doyun continent, in a very dark place, a lot of people are also slowly falling asleep. If Zana were here, they would be surprised to find that these people are from the ancient clan. Even the patriarch of the ancient clan is here, but he just fell asleep for some reason. Take care of them. If anyone escapes, you will look good. The next moment, there was a voice in the dark place, and then a person with black flames appeared. This person is full of ghosts, and the terrifying flames on his body are also extremely gloomy. There are so many ancient powerhouses imprisoned here. I am afraid it is also a huge conspiracy. This video will end here.